Meantime, growing confusion tonight in the transition of power at a local state attorney's office. The outgoing state attorney for Orange and Osceola counties, Andrew Bain, now changing his tone about the transition to former state attorney Monique Worrell in January. WESH 2 Investigates was the first to report Andrew Bain notified his team he did not feel he could help with the transition to Worrell earlier today.
WESH 2 Investigate reporter Justin Shecker is live outside the Orange County Courthouse right now. Justin, just a couple of hours ago, Bain's office issued a new statement.
That's right, Summer and Jesse. The new statement says State Attorney Andrew Bain is prepared for a smooth transition. He will no longer be the top prosecutor. Monique Worrell's next term begins. An about-face from outgoing Orange Osceola State Attorney Andrew Bain after WESH 2 Investigates obtained an internal email raising doubt about a smooth transition with re-elected top prosecutor Monique Worrell. Suspended by Governor Ron DeSantis in August 2023, Worrell claimed victory over Bain on election night in November with 57% of the vote.
That after all of the lies that have been told and the $2.5 million that was spent to turn you against me, you said no.
Monday afternoon, Bain's office sent WESH 2 Investigates a statement that says the state attorney is ready and willing to ensure a smooth transition. The state attorney's term ends January 6, 2025, and he will no longer be in office. Ms. Worrell's term will begin January 7, 2025. It is the intent of the state attorney to enforce the will of the people. The statement is a change of tone from an email sent Monday morning to office staff titled, "The future is uncertain." In that email, State Attorney Bain told prosecutors and staff in his office, "While I accept the results of the election and wish to do everything I can to ensure the office is successful going forward, I do not yet feel I can assist her in that transition because of the clear language of Executive Order 23-160, suspending Ms. Worrell pursuant to Article 4, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution." Worrell responded by saying, "Let me be absolutely clear. I was elected to restore justice, fairness, and integrity to this office. I will not be deterred. Any delay in the transition process is a direct affront to the very people this office serves. This is not about me. It's about the people of this community who deserve competent, accountable leadership that works for them, not political interests." Republican Thomas Fighter lost in the August primary race for state attorney.
You can't suspend somebody from ever taking public office again.
And the big unknown tonight, will Governor Ron DeSantis suspend Monique Worrell again when she moves back into the state attorney's office? We did reach out to the governor's office asking if the suspension is still in effect come January. The response I received included a link to Andrew Bain's new statement. Covering Orange County live in Orlando, I'm Justin Shecker, WESH 2 News.
All right, Justin, thank you. Let's go ahead and look back at where this all started. Governor Ron DeSantis suspended State Attorney Monique Worrell back in August of 2023. He cited neglect of duty for that suspension, including a reported pattern of avoiding minimum mandatory sentences for gun crimes. Now, along with that suspension, the governor announced that Andrew Bain would be taking over for the 9th Judicial Circuit, which covers Orange and Osceola counties, of course. Worrell vowed to fight the suspension, arguing that DeSantis overstepped his constitutional authority. In June of this year, the Florida Supreme Court denied her reinstatement bid. Worrell and Bain then went head-to-head in November's election, and Worrell won back her seat with 57.5% of the vote, leading us to today's letters from Bain to staffers.